Now we turn to Africa, where in a war-torn Sudan, a deadly mine collapse has claimed the lives of 11 miners and left 7 others injured. The Sudanese Mineral Resources Company confirmed the incident took place in an artisanal shaft at the Kirsh Al-Fil mine, located in a remote desert between Atbara and Haya in the northwest-eastern Red State. The collapse highlights the deadly conditions in Sudan's small-scale gold mines, many of which operate without basic safety measures and rely on toxic chemicals. The mining company says it had warned against operations at the site before, due to great risk of life. Since conflict broke out between the army and the RSF in April of 2023, Sudan's gold has become a major source of funding for both sides. Much of the gold, experts say, is smuggled to Chad, South Sudan and Egypt, then routed through the United Arab Emirates, which stands accused of arming the RSF. Despite the war, the army-backed government claimed a record 64 tons of gold output in 2024, but that figure hides the human cost. Artisanal mining, which employed over 2 million people before the war, is now a deadly lifeline in a collapsed economy. The broader humanitarian crisis continues to escalate. Over 10 million people are displaced inside Sudan and another 4 million have fled the country, making it the largest displacement crisis in the world. With 25 million people suffering from severe food insecurity, the mine collapse is yet another tragic blow to a nation in ruins. In the Togolese capital of Lome, at least 7 people were killed and many others wounded during an anti-government protest that took place last week. According to initial reports from civic groups, the protests turned violent, leading to dozens of injuries and more than 60 arrests over the 3 days of demonstrations. These protests were sparked by dissatisfaction with rising electricity prices, a crackdown on dissent and a controversial constitutional reform allowing President Faure Gnassingbe to extend his rule. Rights organisations have condemned the actions of the Togolese security forces, accusing them of brutality and abuse during the protests. 7 bodies were reportedly recovered from rivers in the capital, though the government has denied any link between these deaths and demonstrations. Authorities stated that forensic analysts showed the deaths were due to drowning. The protests, while rare in Togo, highlight the growing frustration with the long-standing regime of the president, who has been in power since 2005. International bodies like Amnesty International have raised concerns over alleged torture during arrests, though the government insists that it has acted within the bounds of the law. Let's take a listen in.
Le drame a pris une dimension encore plus inhumaine avec l'annonce de la découverte de corps sans vie, dont des enfants. Une fois encore, la terre du Togo s'est abreuvée du sang innocent, celui de nos enfants. Une fois de...
We now have some breaking